Should all acquaintance be forgot and never bright to
Hey there, young historians. Happy New Year to you! Woo! It is 2021. Yes, even though I'm here by myself, I'm celebrating with you. Happy New Year to you. I hope that this year is better than last for you and your family. So, today is January 4th, 2021, and it is a Monday. Again, Happy New Year to you. Hey, and last time I saw you in the live lesson, you had voted for me to shave off my chin, which makes that the friendly mutton chops, which are the mustache and a partial beard. That's the mess that you had me wearing. Hey, the union must survive, and so must the friendly mutton chops. All right, happy birthday to you. Not to you, well, maybe to you, but to Jacob Grimm. He was born in 1785. Today he'd be 236 years old. He didn't live that long, of course. He lived 78 years. Jacob Grimm was a German philologist, which means he studies language. He was also a folklorist, and he was one half of the Brothers Grimm. And if you've never looked at the Brothers Grimm before, you should look them up. They told stories that you might think of like Disney stories, like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. But they told the original versions of them, which are very gruesome and haunting and dark. Stories like Cinderella, the Frog Prince, Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, and Rumpelstiltskin, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White. Go check out the Brothers Grimm. Happy birthday to one of my personal heroes, Louis Braille. He was born in 1809. Louis Braille was a French educator and inventor. And when he was very young, he suffered an accident and an infection that caused him to go fully blind. Well, he realized that blind people and people with vision impairments did not have a way to read and write. They did not have a system to read and write. So he invented a system, a series of dots, little bumps that you could run your fingers over and feel letters and numbers and symbols and punctuation, and that you could be able to access reading and writing even if you were blind or vision impaired. This is extremely important to me and my family. So happy birthday to Louis Braille, who lived to be 43 years old. Happy birthday to James Bond. Wait, no, not that James Bond. This James Bond. Yes, he was born in 1900. James Bond was a ornithologist, which means he studied birds. And he studied especially birds in the Caribbean. Well, there was an author named Ian Fleming. And Ian Fleming was also an ornithologist. He also studied birds, and he really appreciated this man's work, this James Bond. Well, when Ian Fleming was writing a story about a British spy, he wanted a very regular name, a normal name, and he chose this guy's name to represent that guy over there, James Bond. So happy birthday to this James Bond here, who lived to be 89 years old. Happy birthday to one of my favorite football players, Derrick Henry. This guy is a beast. Derrick Henry is 27 years old today. He's a running back that plays for the Tennessee Titans, but he's also played at a high school in Florida, and he played for the University of Alabama, where he set records at all levels. He is a Heisman Trophy winner from 2015. This guy just brings the pain. Happy birthday to Derrick Henry. On this day in 2007, Nancy Pelosi was elected as the first woman to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. She is a groundbreaker. And when she was elected as the first Speaker of the House, female Speaker, she said, "It is a historic moment for Congress and a historic moment for the women of this country. It is a moment for which we have waited over 200 years. For our daughters and granddaughters, today we have broken the marble ceiling. For our daughters and granddaughters, the sky is the limit and anything is possible for them." Hey, fun fact, a few years later, she also became the second female Speaker of the House when she was reelected as the Speaker. And on this day in 1996, General Motors announced its first electric car, the EV1. Pretty ugly, although it's kind of like futuristic spaceship kind of hovering around the ground. It was an extremely successful vehicle, but it did bring in or open up the doors for more electric cars in the future. So happy birthday to the EV1. Your code word today is, right here, Vikings. In honor of the Vikings season, or dishonor of their season, I suppose, the ending of the season for the Vikings, that is the code word today. All right, I have good news and I have bad news. You want the good news first, don't you? The good news is The Civil War is over. The Union has won. The Confederacy has been defeated. And the President, Lincoln, won re-election. The South will never rise again. But I also have bad news. As you saw here, yes, the President has been shot. There's one final casualty to the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, the President of the United States, who guided this country through the Civil War, has been assassinated and becomes the last death of the Civil War. So that's the focus today. Also, I have one more type of news. Yeah, fake news. This has been around since the 1860s. Look at this newspaper. It says, Lincoln and Seward assassinated. Not true. It says that Robert E. Lee, the Confederate general, defeats the Union general Ulysses S. Grant. That was not true. Grant defeated Lee. And then it says Andrew Johnson inaugurated president. That's kind of true, okay? So even back then, there was such a thing as fake news. Watch out for it. I had good news, bad news, and fake news. All right, so today's plan. First, you're going to watch a short video from a Lincoln historian at Ford's Theater about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Then you'll watch a second video, it's an Edpuzzle, that gives you more imagery, like this over here, an explanation about the assassination. It's kind of a cartoonish version, okay? That is the plan for today. And one more thing I just want to leave you with, just one more image of that old vote that you had last week, or before the break. Secession, more like treason. Yes, we got the friendly mutton chops there. Okay, Happy New Year to all of you. Happy 2021. I hope that this year is better for you and all of your family. Peace.